Welcome to the Bad Beat Podcast. I am your host, Robert Eisenstadt. Today, we got a real treat. And before I tell you his name, I want to, welcome you guys to the show. And if you guys are new here, explain the podcast a little bit. This is the Bad Beat Podcast, where we talk about small business, big business, and mainly overcoming struggles, what those struggles looked like and how we overcame them, and where they got us to today. But today we have my good buddy Aaron Muller on the podcast. He is a serial entrepreneur. He wrote a book, The Lifestyle Business Owner, which... Oh, Siri's going off, bro. Siri wanted to interrupt your introduction. That's okay.
It's okay.
Which was a #1 international best-selling author. He owns multiple businesses, which consist of Advantage Commercial Brokers, Mr. Truck Wash, Mr. Pressure Wash, Mr. Hood Clean, Hotsy Las Vegas, AA Auto Service, Glenn's Auto, Price Brothers Garage, and he also runs a Lifestyle Business Owners Academy. If that doesn't fucking blow your mind, it should. Welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much.
No worries, man. Yes, blown minds. Yes,
dude, crazy. the Lifestyle Business Owner Academy. That's how long have you been doing that for?
Oh man, like I'd say it's when the book came out. I think that was about 5 years ago, something like that.
Wow.
I just have over 100 and something videos, training videos on how to become a lifestyle business owner. We have like meetings with our members once a month and stuff.
So before we break into your entire story, why don't you explain to everybody what a lifestyle business owner is?
All right. So do you know, people that get together and then they swap, husbands, wives swap and stuff.
Swingers?
That's called the lifestyle, right? That's not what this is about. A lifestyle business owner is basically somebody who owns a business that can operate without that owner having to work in it every day, if so choosing, right? So it's I say a lifestyle could be anything. It could be, working there every day and just you're making a lot of money and building that lifestyle however you want it to be. So it's having total control of the lifestyle you want to have, and the business gets you that lifestyle.
So your business working for you instead of you working for the business.
Yeah, if that's how you want to do it. Yep.
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
The way I do it is I like to have the business work for me and I become an absentee business owner where I work on just building the business and not in it every day.
Which you've succeeded doing numerous times, right?
Yep.
All right.
And some failures.
Yeah, we'll talk about those too.
Yeah.
So really quick, where could they find this? Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. I also have it on a audiobook?
Audiobook?
Yeah, I like that. Probably the best, but yeah.
Awesome. So go check out The Lifestyle Business Owner by Aaron Muller. Awesome book.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the book, by the way.
You bet, man.
Okay, so let's get into your earliest stages. Where were you born?
I pretty much grew up in Washington State.
Okay. And then did you have any like normal jobs ever?
Yeah, when I was young. So my first business, I'll just tell you kind of like the rundown a little bit. I'll be quick with it, but as a kid, I lived on an island, Friday Harbor, San Juan Island. My parents owned a marina, and I was in 5th grade. I'd get up in the mornings, go catch shrimp on the docks, and then take them home, cook them, put them in a bag, 50 to a bag, and go around the docks and sell them boat to boat for $2.50. And that was like my whole business for the summer. Every single day my friends would be out playing and stuff. I was out making money with shrimp, and then the next year I ended up doing a bumper boat business, and my stepdad invested money in me, and I ended up having 4 boats that went around the harbor and everything like that and rented them to tourists. And then I moved off the island, and it wasn't until I was 15 that I got a job washing trucks. And then that was a job. That was the only probably real job that I've had, where I worked for somebody.
But that job is what like pretty much shaped the rest of your life.
100%.
So you worked in, was it Mr. Truck Wash? Was it?
No, it was called Puget Sound Mobile Wash.
And it was just like big fleets or what?
Yeah. So this guy just washed like 3 accounts. He had like garbage companies that he'd go out and wash. And I just fell in love with it. And by the time I was 16, I was running this guy's company for him. I'd hire all my friends from high school and took charge. He didn't have to go out anymore and work. And I was out doing all of that stuff. And then by the time I was a junior in high school, I already decided that I was going to be a business owner. And he offered to sell half his company to me when I graduated. That's what I started doing.
So you worked there for how long? How many years before you purchased part of the company?
10th, 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Yeah, 3 years.
So 3 years, and you buy half the company?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're part owner.
Yep.
And then you are just working on growing the business. Did you ever buy him out completely?
No. So what happened was I was going to be the laborer and go out there, and he was going to, do sales and whatever. Ended up finding that he, that wasn't his forte, and I was always hounding him to get these jobs. And so I started getting on the phone and making phone calls. I realized I was actually good at sales. And so we built this company up pretty big. And then we ended up starting another business, like a retail business, selling pressure washing equipment and supplies. And we sold our truck washing company. And that's kind of how I learned about the business brokerage world, because I fell in love with the guy's job that ended up selling my company.
Damn.
Yeah.
So he brokered you selling the company and buying the other one? Or no, you built the other one from scratch?
The pressure washing one, well, the retail store, we ended up keeping that. And then we sold the truck washing company. And this broker ended up, he was terrible pretty much, but he came in, I hired him. He hadn't sold anything in 6 months, and I'd meet all these people. And I said, hey, Mike, like after 6 months of this, I said, man, you would be, perfect at this business. You're not selling anything, but you'd be good at my business. You should buy it. And he was like, Aaron, I've fallen in love with your business just listening to you talk about it for the last 6 months. He goes, I'll make you an offer next week. So he ended up buying my company. So I sold my company to the business broker, and then I became a business broker.
Wait, hold on. So the guy that was trying to sell your business ended up just buying it?
Yeah.
And then what about the pressure washing, like the retail side of it? Did you start that from scratch, or did you buy that from somebody that was already running?
So that one was from scratch, and I always call that my 4-year college education, where I really learned how to fail in business, because I was pretty cocky, thinking, I can do no wrong. We kicked ass in this truck washing business and all this other stuff. And, we got into this retail business and realized how difficult it was. And I didn't understand, margins and things like that were important to run this successfully. And we didn't have the money, the capital to really run it right. So, I took a big pay cut during that period of time for about 4 years, learned a ton of stuff. But realized that I wasn't going to be able to make this business work. And so what I did was, when we sold our truck washing company, I walked away. I basically gave it to my business partner, the guy that I was partners with the truck washing, and said, here you go. And he ended up running it for another 8 years and filed bankruptcy after 8 years. So it just never really made it, and I ended up buying an auto repair shop. So I had saved up some money and made some money in the stock market and bought my first auto repair shop.
How old were you?
I think I was 26 or 7 or something like that.
Dude, you're a fucking hustler.
I try.
Damn.
It's the only way I know.
Do you still have one of those auto repair shops? Is that one of the ones you still have?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
AA Auto Service. I bought it in 2000.
Is that the one I went to? I went to that one, right?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Did you go to Redmond? No, you went to the one over in Federal Way or whatever. South, down
Dude,
by my auto shop, right? Or by my truck washing company, right? That's the one you went to.
Okay, so let me just break this down a little bit. I met Aaron in the middle of the sand dunes.
Yeah.
Was it last year?
A year ago, yeah.
It was a year ago, Thanksgiving weekend, right?
Yep.
So I met him in the sand dunes, and through mutual friends, and he heard that I owned a pressure washing business. I heard that he owned a pressure washing business, and I was like, oh, dude, I got to talk to this guy. And I was really focusing on trying to figure out exactly what kind of systems I wanted to use in my business, etc. And I reached out to you and invited you to golf.
Yeah.
And that's when I got this book.
Yeah, we went golfing, yeah.
Played golf.
And I said, don't tell him how bad I am.
Yeah. Dude, you kind of suck at golf.
Come on, man.
Just joking. So we go and play golf, and I just asked you, right? I was just like, hey, dude, I'm trying to grow my business. Can I please come and learn from you and just kind of shadow you through your business? This dude not only let me come and shadow him for his pressure washing business, we had only met one other time. He opened his house to me and my wife We stayed at his house, and we got to go to every single one of his businesses that I just listed, plus the one that you exited that I completely forgot to bring up, which is insane. So that's kind of why we dove into the whole which auto shop I went to. But dude, just seeing your operations was like insanely inspirational.
Yeah, and it's small business stuff. You know, I don't go into I'm not, building other than the one, building these huge companies. It's just like nice mom and pop type businesses that cash flow well and they're easy to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. So sorry, we went off on a little rant there. So 26 years old, you open up your first auto shop, right?
I bought it.
Or you bought it?
Yeah.
So it was already existing?
Yeah.
And did you broker it yourself?
Nope, because I bought it.
Can you do
that? Well, yeah, I do it all the time. But the guy that I sold my company to, he ended up selling me it. He brokered it for me. So
it worked out for him, right?
Yeah, it did. He still owns it to this day.
Really?
Yeah, he still owns the company.
How's it doing?
Good. He's absentee. He lives over in Minnesota or something, and he runs out of Seattle.
He took the Lifestyle Business Owners Academy, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good for him. So 26 years old, you exited the truck wash company. You built this retail business, walked away from it.
I walked away from that one.
And then bought an auto repair shop. And then I'm assuming you did the whole LBO deal where you kind of built it. Why don't you run us through that?
Yeah. So basically, I had kind of vowed that I wouldn't, do a business the wrong way again. Like if I was going to buy or get into another company, excuse me for a second. If I was going to get another company, I wanted to know how to do it right. And I didn't know anything about fixing cars or running an auto shop. So I wanted to hire a consultant. So I hired a consulting company to help me run an auto repair shop with the intention that I really wanted to become a business broker and sell companies because I fell in love with this guy's job. So I took a year of just really focusing on that company and following every single thing that consultant told me to do. And I was able to step away in a year and get my license and sell businesses. And so then I've been doing that for like 22 years now. So,
wow. How did you fall into like all the other businesses though?
Being a business person and in general, opportunities come to you or you jump on opportunities when you see them. Some of them have come to me through my business brokerage, and I just got my license out here in Las Vegas. So I'm going to be selling companies in Vegas as well because there's a big need for brokers that are really like experienced and put things together properly. So I'm doing that, but you'll run into situations where, the opportunity is right in front of you and then you can kind of like visualize this is worth doing, and I've had a bunch of failures too, where you do it and then you're like, okay,
let's talk about some of those.
Yeah.
You good with that?
Yeah, no problem. I don't care.
What, so you said the retail store was your 4-year college education. Why?
Because I learned so much through it, but I didn't know how to really do it right. But I learned how to, like I always say, I learned how to fail. So it kind of humbled me. And then it also allowed me to learn, like I built a website, this is back in 1998. I built a website and catalogs and did mail order business and just, all these little things and learning about inventory and margins and all these things that I didn't know anything about. And it was just kind of like that was my learning, versus just having a truck washing company and,
right.
washing trucks. There was so much more to that business. I just wasn't ready for it. I didn't understand it enough to be successful in it. But I bought like one time I bought a used appliance store, and I had 2 of them, and I ended up the guy I bought it from kind of was part of this little. It was almost like a used appliance mafia. It was crazy. I mean, these guys would like follow us around and stomp on you, like make sure that you're not messing with their stuff, and then you'd have to buy product from them, and then they'd give you the wrong product. I mean, it was a lot of BS, man. And so I just said, fuck this. And I got out of it. I was like, I can't do it. But I did it for several years. And for a little while, it was pretty good, but it was a hard one because you're always trying to get used appliances,
Did you sell it or did you just walk away from it?
I think that one, I walked away from it. Yeah. I didn't even, and I even sued the guy from a non-compete, and I won $100,000 on that deal,
Damn.
because he opened up a store down the street from me. And so it just was bad from the beginning. I was just like, I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to deal with this.
You've had a lot of failures, huh?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of hardships.
A lot more than that even. So, yes, I've had lots of them. And I've lost my house in foreclosure. And so, yeah, I've had some failures.
Damn. When was that? Oh, wait.
That was in 2009, yeah.
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 A lot of people went through that, man. But look at you. I mean,
that's the thing is perseverance. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a hustler, you're going to like find opportunities. You're going to bounce back. And then you learn. If you don't learn for all those fuck ups, man, then you're going to really, you shouldn't even be trying anymore, because you're just going to keep doing the same things. And so if you really truly like see why you fail and try and make a lot of effort into and not making those mistakes. And that's why I'm kind of hard on you and stuff when I talk to people. Like, I've already learned it. Why go down this path, man? Let me help you not make those mistakes.
right.
Why? You don't need to. If you're like talking to somebody that's already done it and been there, and you know what I mean? Like, why do you have to always fail at something? You don't always have to do it, right? You can actually learn if you listen. Just like my auto shop, it was from day one, it was successful. And every shop I've owned has been very successful because I listened to those consultants from the very beginning. And I followed it to a T, what they told me to do.
Man, I mean, I always try and hang out with people that are older than me, and have a lot more experience in business, right? So anybody that's been through any kind of life event or event in business or failed in any kind of way, I always try and take advice from them. And that's why I call you all the time and ask you for advice. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a sponge.
You're a sponge. No, I mean, I see that in you, and that's why I was willing to, help you out, because when people want to learn, it's fun for me. If it's a constant battle, it's not fun anymore.
Right.
Like, I'm wasting my energy. I need my energy for my own shit, So I don't want to give you my stuff if you're not really that receptive to it.
So, like this whole lifestyle business owner, like, are you allowed to, without giving too much information away, exactly how your process is of how you get to that? Like, the lifestyle business owner is basically in your mind is my lifestyle is I want to be able to run other companies and be able to enjoy my life, travel, do whatever I want. How do you get a auto shop or a pressure washing business, or maybe it's a restaurant or somebody that might be watching or whatever it is, to be able to do that? Because even in my mind now is a struggle.
Yeah. So really the concept of the book is buy a business, grow its profits, and make it run without you. That's what it's all about.
Right.
And so buying the business is the key, versus starting a business. I mean, I've been successful starting businesses. It takes, 10 years to, sometimes to get them up and going until you're making a lot of money, or, 5 years, and then you start, doing good. But, it takes a long time. So, but when you buy a business, you can get into that business, and within a year, or right away, you're making a 6-figure income if you buy the right business. And don't buy a cheap business. I don't recommend buying a business just because it's cheap. I'd rather buy and spend a little bit more money and make sure there's some cash flow that you can make and build upon that business, and then have other people run it for you. Good managers, better than you. Like, let's just say, like an auto repair shop. I don't know how to fix cars. I can talk to a customer and tell them what they need to do. I'm not going to get technical because I don't know how to, fix the car and what these things do. So I talk in layman's terms, right? But I'll hire people that have been in the industry for minimum 5 years as my service managers, and they know how to talk to the customers. They know how to, sell the jobs. They're much better than me. They make my revenues go up because they're better at than what I do, or the one I know. And then I bring to the table just the business building. I like to do certain things like the marketing and business development. And so I focus on that, and I have full focus on that versus trying to do it on the side, and trying to then also help customers out and stuff. So that's what I do. And then it's setting up the systems so that company. So when I in my book, it's like, you can do it in about 12 months. I don't recommend trying to do it too quick, because you really need to get a good handle on the business and everything else, and then step away after about a year. So it's not like instantaneous that you're going to be, doing really well and you can be an absentee business owner. But what you want to do is while you're there, you set up your system so that everyone's following in its uniform, and then it will run a certain way no matter who's running that business, right? So you're not trying to let everybody just change, whoever comes in there, change the business how they want to run it. You keep your systems tight so that it's a good uniform thing. And then you can run, people to your other businesses that are like even and utilize those same employees, and they know how your systems work. And then the other key is to pay really well, because the only way to get people to really run it how you want them to run it and be as good or better than you is by paying them well. And so that means you need revenue. So you need to make margins, good margins on what you're selling, and you need to be have high enough sales so that you can pay to have these good people work for you.
Okay, so I have 2 questions out of that. One, you say start a business, or instead of starting a business from scratch, buy a business. What would somebody do if they don't have money to buy a business?
You can actually start one. I'm not saying that you can't. It just takes a lot longer,
No,
right? I mean, you can, if you don't have a lot of money, a lot of times you can buy a business for 10% down, and get a loan for the rest of it. So you don't have to have a ton of business. I bought a business for one of my garages. I bought a business. I put $55,000 down. Okay, it was a $550,000 business. It makes me $385,000 every single year since I bought it. And I've spent 5 hours in that business my entire time I've owned that business. What? And I've had it for almost 7 years now. And it's just cash flows. It's like the best investment. Yeah. But that's the thing is $55,000 investment to make give me a stock that does that.
Yeah.
Not that many. And so that's where, if you buy something and just that's big enough, but if you don't have any money at all, I would say then, yeah, you can start something, but you're just going to work at it for a lot longer. It's going to be a 5-year plan before you even start really making any money. So you're going to have a job and other things going on around you to even be able to survive.
And what kind of websites do you sell businesses on?
Bizbuysell.com. That's probably the best one.
Really?
Yeah, I'd recommend people to look at.
Huh. I forgot what my other question was.
That's okay. No worries, man.
I got so involved.
Well, no, it gets convoluted. I don't want to be confusing or anything like that.
No, you're good. Yeah. I got so involved in what you were saying, thinking about buying a business or whatever it was.
That's what people do. Everybody does. They're like, where do I? Oh, I buy a business. Oh, where do I buy it at? Like, oh, that sounds good. It's I make it sound really easy, and it really is easy for me. But here's the deal: is I want people and listeners to know that, there is a process of doing and buying the right business and making sure that, you're kind of making good decisions too.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, man. I started my business from scratch and it was a shit show.
Yeah. But how long has it been now?
8 years.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So now you're starting to fucking kick ass. Right. So it really took almost that 8 years before things really started ramping up like you're at right now.
Dude, it took me 8 years to figure out even what exactly I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
right? The Chomp Chom roller, it took 8 years.
Okay, so let's dive into this a little bit. In the introduction of Aaron, I forgot to mention that he had recently just exited a company for 7 figures, and now he is obviously investing into multiple other avenues. But the Chomp Chom roller was Aaron's.
I think it's 8 figures.
I think it's
6 is 100,000s, right?
8 figures. Damn, my bad.
God, what's up with your math? I thought my math was bad.
I was thinking about 6 zeros. I was thinking about six zeros. Yeah, man. Well, you could tell I don't have that much money.
It's okay. No worries.
I got 6 figures. I ain't got 7 or 8 yet. We're good there.
Yeah. So that was a business that we started, and it worked out. So I can't say that you can't start a business either. So
that was from scratch?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fucking, I got one.
Took about 8 years, I think.
By the way, even though you don't own it anymore, I got one in my house. If you have pets, it fucking works awesome.
Yeah, it's badass, right?
It works so good.
Yeah.
How did you? Are you allowed to?
Yeah, I can talk about it. Yeah.
How'd you come up with like?
So basically, it's called the Chomp Chom roller, and it's a pet hair roller that picks up hair off of like furniture mostly and bedspreads and things like that. And it's reusable and it puts everything into a compartment, right? And so at the time I was divorced and I was living at my buddy's house. Me and my buddy were living together. He was my web designer and he got divorced the same time. Anyways, we just, you know, for like 3 years we were living together and he had these 2 cats and they used to shed over the entire house, you know, all the time. My kids' beds, I was constantly cleaning it with those lint rollers and I wanted to fucking kill all his cats, you know, and every time he'd go away to like, you know, Singapore, I would be like, you know, letting him outside. And then I'd feel guilty because he loved these damn cats so much. So I'd have to like put food out to try to get him to come back. And because I wanted him to run away, but then I felt bad. Right. And anyways, I would spend like 30 minutes, you know, just cleaning my kid's bed with a sticky tape. And he comes home, Tetsu comes home, my business partner, and he says, "Hey buddy, I got this lint roller thing, you know, see if it works. I found it at a mall in Singapore." And so I ended up using it. And I mean, I was like, bro, this is like the world's best hair remover. We have to figure out if it's in America, you know, and it wasn't. And we checked everywhere. And then I was like, dude, we got to name it something fucking stupid, like the Sham Wow, you know, but like, you know, something like that is going to get people like, you know, like, what the fuck is this, you know, or remember it because it's so stupid. And he came up with the name Chom or something like that, and then Chomp Chom, and then we just started. I mean, literally in 5 minutes, we came up with our name of this device. And I said we got to package it ourselves so that, you know, Walmart or somebody like that doesn't come steal it from us. And so we made our own branding.
Did you guys patent it?
Well, it was already patented. The product was already patented, but it wasn't in America. So we branded the product is what we did, and that was a progression, right, to all this other stuff that happened later on. But, you know, we got like, I had to buy 5,000 of them. They wouldn't let me I just wanted to buy like 500. They said, no, you got to buy 5,000. And that was like 15, I can't remember how much it was, but it was a lot. It was like, you know, 20 grand or something like that. Right. And I'm like, oh man, like I don't have that money. I said, Tetsu, will you put up the money? And he put up the money and we get this product in, and then I bought all these stickers, like 3 stickers for each one. So on the packaging, I had to put 2 stickers and then 1 more on the device. And literally I have to pull them out of the box and put stickers on each one.
You did them by hand?
Oh yeah, like the first, you know, bunch of them that we had.
15,000 or 5,000?
5,000 of them, yeah. And it was a lot of work, you know, and I had the whole family, the kids were doing it, my kids, my wife's kids, everybody, you know, their friends, you know, we would just... but we put a press release out. This is how I started. I put a press release out about this, and somebody from the Dallas Times had discovered this or saw this article, and they put it in their article, and she was pretty popular. So this one weekend, we ended up selling like 250 of them, and that was the start. And we're like, oh man, like holy shit. But then it went down to like 3 a day, you know, for the next like 3 years. I mean, I didn't sell shit, you know, 3 to 5 a day, something like that. And then I was ready to give up on the whole deal because Tetsu ended up moving back to Singapore. So now it's me and I'm having to go to the storage unit and get these damn things. Well, anyways, I ended up, it just all of a sudden started taking off. We started selling like, you know, 20 a day, 30, 40, 50 a day, you know, like I was like, holy shit, you know? So then we started, you know, progressing with it. We trademarked the name. And then after a while it got really, you know, busy. We're selling like 1,000 a day, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 a day. And then we started, having a lot of problems with counterfeiters, you know, from China and stuff like that. They were like basically like taking our product and like hijacking our listing on Amazon. And we ended up having to deal with all that kind of stuff. So we got the patent rights signed over to us so that we could enforce the product. Yeah. But we were just like killing it, you know, with this product. We were on the Inc. I got on the Inc. 500 list. I was number 62 on the Inc. 500. And then the next year, like 262. So it grew really fast, like during that period of time.
How many units were you selling at like towards the end?
There was like 3,000 to 5,000 a day.
A day?
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude. It changed your life, right?
It changed my life, yeah.
Huh. What were you thinking?
Not, you know, I don't ever think like, oh, I'm going to make so much money, you know, like I think this could be good and I could make some money. I don't know what I'm going to make, but I don't ever have my visions really, really far out there. You know, I'm more of about like what's happening right now, and then how can I make this work, you know? And I think by taking it step by step, you don't get frustrated as quick, you know, and you just know things move slow in business sometimes. And it was weird, you know, like me and my buddy would be like, what's your FU money, man? You know, and
Like, what's the amount where you feel
done.
like, yeah,
you're done. You made it, you know, like, what does it feel like to be, I wonder what, you know, what would it be that you do that if you made it, what would you do? You know, like we'd have those conversations, and it was a lot of fun, you know, to do that. And, you know, one of my things was, I just want to be able to, if I fly international, fly like, you know, business class. No, not even first class, business class. It'd be like, it's like spending, you know, $1,000, not 10, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it feels like, or $500. It feels like $500, you know? So that was my idea of what success was, right, in my head. Like, you know, I just don't have to think about it, and it's not a big deal if I fly business class and spend $5,000 or whatever on a ticket. So,
damn.
and his was like, I'd retire, man. And he's done. He's not working anymore. I'm probably working harder than I've ever worked in my life now again. I don't even know why, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, you know why.
I'm driven.
You're enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
You're doing what you're doing. Because I'd be screwed.
Well, no, you wouldn't be screwed, but it's cool that we get to work together now and stuff, right?
Yeah. No, it's awesome. And,
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I get like the best advice all the time. Plus, the friendship is amazing.
Yeah. Well, you came over for dinner last night.
I was just going to bring that. I went up to dinner at your house last night, and your wife makes the most amazing hibachi I've ever had in my life. And it was all vegan, which I eat super unhealthy.
Well, it's not vegan because there's meat.
Well, besides the chicken. Besides the chicken, everything was vegan.
But all the other stuff, like all the dairy, there's no dairy and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking like a real fucking idiot, aren't I?
No, not at all, dude. No, you're just no, bro.
No,
hey, listen,
I'm joking.
Listen, I have to have like a notepad out of. I couldn't interview somebody and not have a notepad because I can't remember what the fuck I'm saying.
I don't like doing that.
Yeah, no, it's good. You're good.
I like to just.
Hey, you do good, dude. You're natural at this, man. I seen your shows and I'm like, it's good, man. It looks good. I like it.
I do look good.
Yeah, you do.
No, I'm just joking. Man, yeah. Last night was awesome. It was delicious. Dude, and actually, your wife your wife works with you on.
Yeah, she's
all
helped
of
me
them,
build. I mean, to a point, you know, like she's heavily involved in all the pressure washing and truck washing stuff.
Yeah,
and she's done real estate with me and everything like that. But yeah, she's. So when I lost, I'll just kind of like tell you this is the, you know, kind of thing when I lost everything and, you know, like during 2009 and I was living in a buddy's basement and. You know, everybody like, how do you, you know, oh yeah, fucking Aaron, you know, got this girl probably because, you know, his money. And it's like, I was fucking broke, man. I was living in a basement and I got the hot bitch. Okay. So don't fucking say you got to have money. You know, you just got to be able to like talk. Right. So, but I was out there looking for a hustler. You know, I wanted a woman that could help me be a true partner in my life and help me like build my stuff because I didn't want to take care of another woman or anything like that. And I didn't have the funds to do that anymore anyway. So, when I met my Yumi, it was like literally like I met her on a Tuesday at a trade show. I'd go to trade shows and just try to meet girls, you know, like that was my thing, you know. Like,
trade shows?
Yeah, because I wanted a hustler, right?
That's smart.
And so I'd go to these trade shows, but I'd have a booth, but I really didn't care about the business part of it. I just wanted to meet a girl that I could like relate with, you know, and I saw her standing by the elevator and I was like, you know, after the show and I ran up to her and I was like, hey, you lost or something? I said, the elevator's right over there, you know, and she's like, well, no, I'm not lost. And I said, well, I'm going, you're going to the party afterwards. I'll see you there. And so anyways, I went up to my partner. I was like, I'll be going on a date with her by the end of the night. Right. You know, that night I got her number and that was a Tuesday and I went on a date with her on a Saturday and I had been dating for like 3 years and I wouldn't date a girl longer than 30 days. And I was like, you are the one, you know, like that night I was like, I'm done. Just so you know, you're the one I've been looking for. And that was 10 years ago or something. Right. But when we met and that was around 2012, it was like the economy started changing again and getting a little bit better. It wasn't quite there yet, but I made the decision, you know, now I had my partner and I was like, I want to fucking kick some ass, dude. How are we going to do this? You know? And so we went to Brazil and we just kind of like got into I found, something out there that gave me this inspiration, a book, or whatever. And then we just went after it. And in that short of time, it's only been 10 years, we were able to build all that we've done, together.
You know what? I get a lot of shit from a lot of people for how much I travel. Almost every single good idea that I have comes to me when I'm traveling.
Yeah, because you're relaxed. You're
relaxed. You're refreshed.
You're not in the day to day.
Every time I get out of like my zone of doing shows or business or meetings or whatever it is, and I'm just like excited. Like I wake up excited to go like see something new, which I wake up excited to go to work every day. But like that feeling when you're like, oh man, I get to go out of town today. Like during that trip, it's like all these ideas just start free flowing into your head. It's crazy.
And sometimes it can actually ruin a trip because you get so excited.
You're like, I want to get home.
Yeah, right. And so you have to like balance that when you're there and go, I got to embrace, I'm here on a vacation. So let's not completely ruin it based off of just my, wanting to get back in it. But you're right, man. I mean, I same thing, that's why when I lost everything, I pretty much would go to the bar at noon every day, like for 3 years. I just didn't have shit to do. I had businesses, but they were just running and they weren't really doing great, but they were making enough money to pay the bills. But I knew that more effort wasn't going to get me anywhere faster during those times because it was really tough, during that recession.
What businesses did you have?
I had a couple auto shops and, I think I had the truck washing company and the pressure washing company. Those did really, pretty good, and they grew during that time.
So you kept your businesses through the recession.
Yeah.
But you lost your house.
I lost my house. Yeah.
So
and I lost maybe like one or two. I think I lost 2 businesses, and I lost a RV park and things like that. Yeah.
Jeez. So you started not at the bottom. You had a good childhood, right?
Yeah.
But you started buying and building businesses and all this stuff and got like to where you're feeling on top of the world. And then it just came crashing down, right?
Yeah. But I was working so much and so unhappy and in an unhappy marriage on top of it. But yeah, I was working like just nonstop and I hated it. I was burned out.
Do you think that's why you created the whole idea of?
Yeah, so that's what I was going to go with. Yeah, exactly, 100%. Like I was at this place in life where I wasn't happy, like I was making good money, but I wasn't like enjoying my life. And it wasn't until I got a chance to spend all this time with my kids now I got divorced, right? So now I'm forced to be with my boys and not just put it off to somebody else, right? And so like I embraced all of that. I embraced time with my friends, going on dates, dating. I never really dated a lot when I was younger because I was all about business, and me and Tetsu would sit there and like brainstorm like this, like for fucking 3 years, dude. Like we just sat there and we sold websites and SEO and stuff like that because he had a web design company and I'd help him build his company. But we just sat there literally in our boxers every day and just talk about stuff and think, man. It was 3 years of thinking. And so you say that you do that at like a vacation, right? It's like I had 3 years of that shit, dude. Like, and it just literally like it all kind of made more sense and gave me true direction of what I was going to do the next time around. And I did it and it was the right way, versus how I did it the last time and lost my ass.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Damn. So 3 years of just brainstorming and
trying things and just
trying
doing
different things and
just trying to figure out how to make it, be a better lifestyle for me ultimately, because I enjoyed that time and I never did that because I was right out of high school. I was just working and trying to build business and stuff. And then always trying to keep up with the Joneses, like buy the next house, the nice car, and I had payments and payments and payments. And then I was going and I got this trust fund partner at one time that was like, yeah, I want to buy a business every 3 to 6 months, And so he pulled me away from all these things and I was buying businesses before they were established and ready to, go to the next one. So once I realized that, that this time around, I was like, I don't go to the next one until this one's right, and then go to the next one. It's self-sufficient, making me good money. Now I go to the next one.
Otherwise, you'd be spread way too thin.
Yeah, and it's easy to do when you're like an entrepreneur. You got all that, like, shit going through your head all the time. Like, oh, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. I could do that. So
You learn to say no.
yeah, I mean, seriously. And I just did it just recently. I said, no, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm like not following. And it was actually in a meeting just recently. I was with my wife and the people and we're sitting there and my wife mentioned something about the book and something about like how what I'm talking about going. And I'm like, holy fuck, I am doing exactly what I teach not to do. And I stopped myself, but it was because I wasn't listening to myself too.
Oh, are you going to buy another business?
I was going to do something. But anyways, I'm in it right here, man. I'm with the hot seat.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
I'm focused on this shit right here, man. So.
Which you've done an amazing job so far.
Thank you.
The building is absolutely amazing. I mean, which is, you own the building.
This is my second attempt in that. So that business I told you I had, that was my college education. This is my second attempt. I'm doing the same business, but with my new knowledge now. So this is the true test if I really know what I'm doing.
You know what you're doing. I'm excited to see where you take it. So Mayumi,
yep,
she just did are we allowed to talk about that?
Mm-hmm.
See, dude, this is what happens when you're just like
I told you there's nothing.
Well, I know, but I don't want to get nobody in trouble. You know what I mean? Like she just spent what, a month or two in Florida?
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was 2 months.
2 months in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting a TV show for whatever network it is. What's the show about?
So it was a reality TV show. It was going to be on CNBC. The MGM was a production company for like the Mark Burnett Productions, who does Shark Tank and all that stuff. And they had this new concept. They found us through the business brokering. So they found they wanted her to be like a co-host and help people buy businesses.
Is she a business broker too?
Yeah, she's done it too. And she's super dynamic. So they actually contacted me and said, yeah, would you guys be interested in this? And this is right before COVID. And so I called them back. I said, yeah, it's right up our alley. We do this sort of thing, buy businesses and help people and this and that. They're like, well, actually there's enough, we're really more interested in your wife. There's enough white males on TV. So,
really?
Yeah. So I was like, oh shit. Yeah, no worries. I said, she would be, way better and way more dynamic. So, that was the conversation I thought was quite funny, but she's amazing and she did really well. And there's now some stuff going on where they don't know when it's going to air, because some people left CNBC and stuff. So we're not sure when it's going to air, but she did like 8 episodes helping people in Florida buy businesses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, you guys really are a dream team.
Yeah, she's fucking awesome, man. I mean, I could never have done any of this shit without her. So
she helped me too.
Yeah.
Well, she helped Sierra.
Yeah.
Well, me. Both of us. She helped both of us.
There you go.
Sorry. If I say anything wrong, she won't make me hibachi anymore.
Oh no. Yeah.
I'm just joking. Man. So through all of these endeavors that you've taken, what do you think the biggest like challenge that you've had to overcome is? Like whether it's been, the 2008 crash or, the first retail business, that like the hard lesson that you had to learn, which I believe, failures are only failures if you don't learn from them, right? Like you got to fail forward. So everything that you go through that's hard or like a hard lesson is all good. It's purposeful as long as you can move forward with the knowledge that you took from the failure,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with it.
If you just sit there and sob, then.
Yeah, you can always feel sorry for yourself. And I think the best thing I read, and this was Grant Cardone, actually, it was in his book and stuff. And it's like totally taking responsibility on everything, right? So like rather than, and I think it's actually something that Scientology teaches, but, that's where it comes from. But it's that I'm not a Scientologist, just so you know. But I thought that this was really smart. It was like, always, it doesn't matter if you ran like you're going through a red light, right? Or you're going through an intersection. Somebody runs a red light and they hit you. First thing you say, oh, they ran the red light and hit me. Now it's like, it's instead of taking that responsibility and saying, what could I have done to avoid that collision, right? Even though they ran the red light, I could have been looking and paying attention a little more and actually like, taking responsibility and maybe stop that from happening, right? So if you always are saying, it's because of this, or, well, oh, he's more successful because he's older, or, you know what I mean? Like, you're just always making yourself feel better. And you got to, like, that doesn't do anything for you. All it does is gives you excuses for not, you know.
You got to own the hard shit.
Own anything. Like, yeah, I fucked up, man. That's what I said. When I had this retail store, I fucked up. I mean, I didn't understand this. I didn't do that. So, you know, I want to try it again. But, you know, you don't ever learn from those successes because they don't teach you anything. They make you cocky and give you a big ego, and that's all that successes do.
Right. So the struggle.
Yeah.
What do you think was like the toughest one to get through?
I think could
it be the divorce?
Well, no, the divorce was actually great. No, it was. I mean, like, you know, I was able like to when I lost everything, it was like I called my buddy up and I said, hey, man, and he did foreclosures and stuff. Like, that's what he did in real estate. And I said, hey, man, I'm thinking about I just built this house. It was like a beautiful $2 million house and dream house kind of thing. But I was miserable. And I was like, you know, and my mortgage payment was like 10 grand a month. And I was like, I'm just fucking done, man. So I called him up and I said, hey, what would happen if I let this house go? And he was like, your credit goes bad for 7 years. And I was like, that's it? Like, I'm fucking done. You know, and that was like, I had this like pressure completely off of me, you know?
It didn't scare you? No. 7 years is so long.
I didn't even care. Like, it was just right, man. And my life became amazing after that. Like, it just, I lived simple again. Like, I was the brokest I'd been since I was a kid, and I was the happiest I'd ever been. And it was just weird how that all works. So when I say, when you ask that question, the struggle was a little frustrating because, you know, you're like 10 years back from all this hard work you've done, and now I'm like at zero again, right? So that part I didn't like, you know, to think about that. But all my friends, everybody was in the same boat. So we were all just going to the clubs and the bars and just having fun, you know, because nobody was making any money. So it wasn't until 12 that everyone's kind of stopped going out again, you know, because everybody got busy again and everything. But, you know, so I say those struggles were hard for me, but like I never really truly look at things like that, you know, like they're hard, and everything's hard. Running a fucking business is hard. Dealing with employees is hard, you know, like everything's difficult. So if you dwell on that, then it's hard to get up and get going again. Right. So what I do, I always would think of the best case, you know, oh, well, now I don't have to do this. Oh, well, now I can do this. Oh, so when something negative happens, it makes me think, oh, the top employee leaves. Well, I just saved a bunch of payroll. Maybe I can find someone cheaper and can do it. And you know, and then I always do. I always find better people. You know what I mean? So anything struggling for business has never made me dwell and feel like, oh man, this was the hardest thing I've had to deal with, because everything's hard.
Yeah, life's hard.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just. But I really love the way your mindset.
But I'm not like this, like rah rah rah. I'm so positive guy. You know what I mean? But I do try to talk positive to myself, you know, like I can, like, great example. I played baseball, get up to bat, and I don't like to gloat and things like that. So I'd be like, hey, I'm probably gonna strike out. I tell everybody around me, hey, just so you know, I'm probably gonna strike out, you know, so don't expect too much from me. But in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking hit the ball. Like, it's always right here, you know, I'm confident in here. But outwardly, I don't want to like come across like that, because then I can save face if I do fail, you know? So that also is like a little game I play with myself.
It's like the complete opposite of everybody else.
I don't know, man.
Everybody else is like, yeah, I'm the fucking best.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit a home run.
I'm embarrassed to say that, you know, like.
What do you mean?
No, I'd be embarrassed to say I'm the best, you know, like because.
But it doesn't matter what you say. It matters what you believe.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't need to do it for other people. I do it for myself.
Do you believe in manifestation?
Oh, fucking A. I said I manifested my wife every day. I said, when I met her, I said, I manifested you. You're exactly what I was looking for.
I love that I brought up manifestation, and the first thing that you, like, dude, I could see it in your eyes. It was instant. It was like, I manifested my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the shit that you have gone through in your life and all the businesses that you own, the very first thought was, I manifested my wife. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
I did.
You got a lot of love 100%. For that woman.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But, I mean, like, were you and Tatsu sitting there Doing a
Tetsu.
lot of tattoo?
Yeah. Were we in love?
No, were you not in love? I'm saying, were you guys like just sitting there like manifesting, like, man, this is what we're gonna have, this is what we're gonna do?
Yeah, we even put lists together of what, like, okay, on the woman's side, like what we wanted in a woman, and we put like this list together. I remember, and we talk about it to this day. And I told him, I said, listen, bro, like you're way too specific. Like you're not gonna find all that. He ended up finding his wife in Brazil, you know, and he would go to Brazil every like 3 months and meet a girl, different girls on BrazilianCupid.com. But he found the girl and he married her. He's got a 7-year-old baby now and everything else. You know, they've been together same as me and Miami, but we always sat around and did that stuff. You know, like what if we had this? What if this happened? You know, like what if we, you know, like everything. Like it was literally daily.
You got it all.
I mean, I think so. I don't want a jet and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't look at things that are like that, but I have everything that I can ever imagine that I've wanted, you know?
Yeah. I practice manifestation every single day.
You should.
I do.
And you're doing it. You're doing it too.
I know. And it's crazy because eventually you like look around and you're like, man, everything that I used to ask for,
it's here.
It's here. Like
and
my wife, my business.
And you have to look around every once in a while and do that. You got to stop.
Yep.
Right? Because we move fast.
And sometimes you get hard on yourself seeing other people that are, you know, like
you can't compare.
You can't compare like my chapter 8 to your chapter 20, right? But, you know, sometimes I get hard on myself for looking at like, you know, I follow a bunch of very influential people on social media or whatever it is. And I'm like, damn, dude, he's like traveling on jets and he's going around to different countries and he's on the beach, you know, with his family or whatever it is. And I'm like, why don't I have that? And then I'm like, you know, one of my best friends, John, he told me, he was like, dude, the same you 10 years ago would crush anything just to have what you have right now.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you be thankful for what you have?
Yeah.
And I was like,
made you
damn,
take a step
you're
back,
fucking
right?
Like,
yeah. And
dude.
It just gets better, you know, and when you can like not envy people and, you know, look at them as like, wow, that's cool. Like, you know, right. That's cool. And that'd be nice if I could have that, you know, and do that. But I mean, I can tell you like vacations. Last fucking time I went on one, I was like bored, you know, it was right before I bought my hood cleaning company and I was so fucking bored in Hawaii. Why? You know, because I wasn't in a relaxing mode anymore. I felt like I just want to work, you know, and get shit going. So it doesn't mean that like they're having this great time because all they're out there, you know, on, you know, think about this, man. How much have you been on social media? I did at one time for like, it was about 2 years with the LBO stuff. I was on it all the time, filming all this kind of stuff all the time. It was fucking miserable, man. Like, so think about these people. They act like they don't work. Bullshit, man. These guys are working like 20 hours a day to be successful. Anyone that's making any money in those damn, you know, social media things, right?
Oh, dude. That's why I got my boy right here behind the camera. I can't. Not my thing.
It's horrible. No, it sucks doing that stuff.
I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah.
A lot. Thank you.
But he's doing it for you and making money on it, right? So it's like it's better for him. But like when you're doing it for yourself all the time, I mean, who would want to do that? But like I don't like get excited when I see somebody in like some other country or they're on the water or something. I can go any of those places. I don't like. So you know. And you could too. Anybody can do anything that you want. Look at how many broke people are traveling still. You know, like you can do anything you want to do. It's just a matter of sometimes you have to put things off to, you know, get ahead in something else, right?
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
You had to sacrifice a lot in your life to make some of your businesses work.
Yeah.
Everybody has, right?
Yeah. Everybody really has in one form or another.
Family or that was probably my worst.
Just family, yeah.
Yeah. You know, like, well, I was starting the business and, you know, I started my business with my ex and,
yep.
You know, we had just had a new baby. So it was like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. But I missed like the entire first year of my daughter being alive.
But that's okay working. Because the first year sucks. I hate the first year with babies. But you know what? But now, but that's what I'm saying. You make it. I made the thing back up, you know, with my kids when they're like in their, you know, 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s, whatever, you know, like I was focused on them and you are too with your daughters. So it's like, you know, it's not like you're really missing out. And you got to, there's sacrifices we have to make as adults, like to take care of our family. Right.
Oh yeah.
So big deal. I mean, that's what we do.
I wish they saw it a little bit more.
I know they don't a lot of times. I even told my wife now, like, hey, I know you don't want to do this business out here in Vegas, but I do. I want to do it, and I'm going to work, and it takes a lot of work for me to do that. So you got to be okay with me being at work.
Yeah. Dude, your wife put like a crazy fire inside of my wife.
Did she?
Yeah, bro.
Nice.
Like, I mean, since we came back from Seattle, my wife has like, I feel like I work for her now.
I love it.
Dude, she's crushing it. It's so awesome.
Well, Miami's very motivational.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Miami.
You guys are an amazing couple. We're going to get this wrapped up, but I do want to ask you if you had one piece of advice to give to somebody, whether it be business, family, whatever. I know I'm really putting you on the fucking spot.
No, I hate this question. Anyways, keep going. I got to think now.
Just if you had any piece of advice, like something that you went through or whatever it is, like how you got here, what would it be? Like, give me some advice on something I should really focus on in life.
Now it just came to me. My advice would be to definitely listen. Like if you're a young, hustler out there, listen to people that have done it, a little older than you. It doesn't even have to be older than you, but don't think you know everything, and be receptive to learning from people. And just because they're older and they might not be doing it like exactly like you in the social media world or whatever, know that these people have some serious knowledge to bring to you. And that if you listen to them versus trying to like challenge them, it's like you're going to get so much more. Because what I've always done, I have multiple mentors in my life that have, to this day, my business partner, Rob, who was the guy I worked for, he's still with me and he's 60 or 62 years old now. And I still talk to him every day and I ask him for advice, and I've helped him. I've gone way beyond him in the business world. Right. And I've helped him be successful because I brought him into my businesses and stuff, but he brings so much to me. And it's not always, exactly that business situation or whatever. It's just advice from people that have been through life longer. And that's the thing that I think a lot of younger generations want. Oh, the other thing is not needing everything right now, because it takes a long time to create this success that I've even had, and it's not just the time, it's the knowledge that you learn and the lessons you learn through the process so that you can now make better decisions. And that takes years of wisdom, man. This is what wisdom is. It's life on earth.
You freaking nailed it. Literally today, I was sitting in my office making sales calls, and I was like, man, I feel stuck even for a day. And I was like, you want to know what? Baby steps. I'm like, we're headed in the right direction. That's all that matters. So not needing everything right this second was a huge one. Mentors, what mentors do you have? Obviously Grant Cardone would you consider?
I kind of got away from him. He's a little too crazy for me now, but no, like I don't, there's not too many that like really excite me, and I don't like the hype too much, so I try to like, it almost fucks me up a little bit, like too much, so I like kind of more of a, kind of subtle things out there that are happening and kind of look how people are doing things, and then try to like maybe read about it if it's interesting to me. But it could just be even personal people that I know in my life that are older than me, that give me life experience. It's not always about business too. The life part kind of translates into business sometimes when you're listening and you understand what someone is really saying to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm happy I was able to bring one of my mentors onto the show. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for joining us, dropping some knowledge. If you guys liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, share the content. That's how it spreads the word. If you guys are looking for any knowledge about buying a business, just drop a comment. I'll make sure I will reach out to Aaron for you. And once again, make sure you go buy my boy's book. It's absolutely awesome. I highly recommend it. And see you next time.
Thank you, man.
Good. Appreciate you, bro.